Hello, I'm Shahzad Iqbal. I welcome all of you to Odoo Experience 2023 and especially in this session. In fact, this session is more about to share my experience with all of you regarding presentation and consolidation of financial statements with Odoo and comply with the requirements of international financial reporting standards. So we would look into the configuration of dynamic financial statements in Odoo and see how to configure financial statements as we require. And we would also look into the consolidation application and some of its configurations. Okay. So first of all, I take you to the financial statements of two public listed companies. And these public listed companies are following the requirements of international financial reporting standards. This is financial statement of ADNOC, listed company, public listed company in United Arab Emirates. This is the consolidated statement of financial position, which we also know as the balance sheet. This is one of the set of financial statements. We can see the presentation, its structure, its content. So it's been done following the requirements of IFRS-1. We can also see the other financial reports. So let's focus on financial statement of financial position at the moment. Now we go to the consolidated statement of financial position of another company that is also public listed company following the requirements of IFRS and this is Emaar, and this is also based in United Arab Emirates. Now, if you notice something in this report, you would find the content and the structure of this report is a little bit different what we have seen earlier. This one. So what does it mean? Are they not following the requirements of IFRS exactly? Because statements are a little bit different. No, in fact, there are some other reasons for that. Though they are following the guidelines and requirements of IFRS, but maybe due to the difference in some set of transactions in each business, and also there might be the reason due to some local guidelines, some local laws in that particular country for that particular business segment, this structure and content may vary. So it means we need some software which has financial statements flexible to be configured as per the requirements of that particular organization. Maybe organization is following the US GAAP or following IFRS. So how Odoo helps in this regard? Is Odoo so flexible to help us? Let's have a look. Boom. See this financial report, statement of financial position. This is structured and configured exactly as we have seen the financial report, the statement of financial position of ADNOC. What the first one I have shown you. All the line items are the same and exactly being configured as per that report. Okay. What is the standard one in Odoo? When we get the standard Odoo, we get this balance sheet, which has the configuration by default in Odoo, and we have to configure it a bit more to get the required report. Okay, how we do that? I'll share the tips and tricks with you, how I have done that. But before that, bear with me a little bit to know about IAS-1 of International Financial Reporting Standards. Just to see, is there any limitation in Odoo or not? This is just the checklist of requirements. For example, the purpose, complete set of financial statements and journal features. There are the guidelines in IAS-1 about that, and we find no limitation to follow those guidelines in Odoo. For example, in journal features, you can see one of the feature is accrual basis. We know we can follow the accrual basis in Odoo. And similarly, there are other details. We move forward. We see identification of financial statements like date, period, currency, level of rounding. Everything is configurable in Odoo. Then we have a statement of financial position, the guidelines, and no limitation in Odoo. Next, we have the statement of profit or loss or other comprehensive income, all the guidelines for that. Next, statement of changes in equity, and then statement of cash flows. That is not part of IAS-1, that is part of IAS-7, but this is also one of the financial statements. Okay. What we have in Odoo? We have balance sheet. This is exactly the same report what is called statement of financial position in IFRS, which in this report we can see the assets, liabilities of the company, means the financial position of the company. Next, we have profit and loss report in Odoo, that is statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, called in IFRS, which provide information about the revenue, expenses, profit, loss, etc. Then we have cash flow statement in Odoo, that is called statement of cash flows, to know the cash inflows and outflows of the company. Now we go back to the Odoo. Let me share some those tips and tricks what I promised with you. Before going to the configuration, this is the configurations of form of balance sheet. Before going into that, let me share the most important form, which is the base to configure the financial statement. That is very common form, the account in chart of accounts. Here we can see the code, name of the account, then account type. The important one, to get this account configured in the financial statement, Odoo has fixed types, and we can see this structure. Exactly, we get this structure when we use these types in Odoo. And next on this form, we have other fields. Important ones relevant to this discussion are tags and the groups. Now, as the type is fixed, the certain types are there. So we can use tags or the groups to help us configure a different financial statements with some different line items, different content, and different structure. How? Here we can see the when you are in developer mode, you can see the technical details of each field. Just remember that. Now I move to the configuration part. Okay, in configuration, we can see these lines, and when we click on it, this is the form in Odoo, uh, which is used to make a structure and the content of financial statements. So on this form, we can have the different fields like name, payment lines, and other, like is it foldable, what's the code, and a short and very easy Python expression, what an accountant like me can also easily understand, having been spent few years in Odoo. So when you see this expression, it's a simple maths. This is the code dot balance plus code dot balance. This code is this one. So if you see a couple of times this formula, you can make your own setup through this simple maths, right? So this is how we can make the groups, headings, subheadings, and I take you now to another form and another formula, another Python expression. Again, if you see this Python expression, no need to learn this Python expression, being if you are not a developer. Just understand the content and try to replicate that to, little bit make it for you. So as I have shown on the account form, we can see the technical names of the fields. Here I notice this is the technical name of the field account type, and the name of account type is used to get all the accounts in that account type. So I got idea from here, and I try to get all the accounts in any particular tag, with any particular tag. So what I did, I created this new one, right, of use assets, and I just copied that formula, took the technical name of tag field on the form, and mentioned the name with the same, keeping rest everything is the same, and it works for me. So this was a trick. So now, using the tag, I added the lines, any lines what I want through tag, and the same thing you can do using the groups. There's a field groups, you can use the technical, whatever you like. So I like that, I did that, and it works for me. But on the same time, any line which is using the type, I have to exclude the IDs, tags, IDs used in other lines from this. So again, this was with a little technical help, very little technical help, I was able to do that, right? So this is the trick I did with configuration of financial statements, and I made the financial statement for a public listed company called ADNOC in Odoo. Here you can see that, right? So this is how Odoo I found flexible. Yes, with customization you could do anything in Odoo, but important is how and what can you do through just front end through configurations, right? So without any customization, this is done. Similarly, this was the example of the statement of financial position. Same way we can do for rest of the financial position, financial statements as well. Now I take to the consolidation. This was the presentation of financial statement part. We learned that, I shared my experience with you, how I was able to get it done as I was, targeting to do that. In consolidation application of Odoo, we can combine the information of multiple companies from the financial statements. We can play with the exchange rates. If any one of the entities is foreign entities and the currency is different than the base currency, we can play with that. We can convert to the base currency. We can do multiple adjustments through journals, and there are some other features. Now, if we see the related international financial reporting standards, for example, IFRS-10 or IAS-21, we see the guidelines, and again, I don't find any limitation in that. For instance, if the period varies, the consolidation period varies, if it's not a full period, full year, we can control that. If the holding company has acquired some subsidiary during a particular period, we can have the consolidation only for that period. Such requirements are there, and also there are requirements related to the conversion of the other currencies. Should it be the closing rate? Should it be the average rate? For different set of transactions, different method could be applied, and so on. Now I take you to the Odoo. This is consolidation application. In this is the dashboard. It's already consolidation is already configured. I would focus just to show you some of the requirements of IFRS, what could be what are present here in different forms of configurations. For example, the period. We can control the consolidation period. Here you can see in header there's a date range, but in the lines you can see the date range are there as well. If any subsidiary has a different period, we can have start and end date differently for that particular group company. This is one of the requirements, as I said. And another related to the currency. Let me show you the this form. This is consolidation accounts. Here you can see when we pick up different set of accounts for the consolidation, we can pick up what should be the exchange rate to convert the numbers of that foreign entity to the base currency. We can have the closing, average, or historic based on historic data. So this is one of the very strong feature again to comply with the requirements of different IFRS. And another one, last but not the least right now, I come back here. There are some transactions which have to be eliminated, when we are doing consolidation. So we have that option. We can see exclude journals. What is the example of that? The intercompany transactions. We can have intercompany transactions through intercompany journal, and we can pick up those journals in our settings to exclude those transactions. We can also add some adjustments over here. So this is how, this was a quick talk about those configurations of consolidation, where we can play around and we can comply with the requirements to follow and make our consolidated financial statements as we require. So thank you very much. This was the session and about presentation and consolidation. and comply with the requirements of IFRS wherever is relevant. Just I was sharing my experience with you all. Now we can move to the QA session.
Okay, nice. Not sure what's going on, to be honest.
I'm unable to copy that exactly. I don't know why.
Ah, it's working now. You good? Maybe let's maybe try to open it now. Can you?
It's here. Yep.
Can you try to open it? I don't know if it's just as it scan and handle the question, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's opening.
Oh, there's no question. Does someone have a question in the room? Ah, okay. Let's do it the other way. That's gonna fine. Yeah, I don't know why, to be honest. But you can come. Yeah, tell me.
In the same report, in comparatives. Yes, there is configuration to have that. Like, yeah, but for different companies, we can have the different one. But in consolidation, consolidation is already done, always done in the single currency, in the base currency. It should be the base currency always for all the lines. Whenever we do the consolidation, it should be in the same currency. Yeah. So that's why it's converted into the base currency. Whatever currency we have as a base currency in our financial statements.
Yeah, maybe what I can do, I can put the mic here, no? Or just can you can.
Can we have access to the database, demo database?
So the question is related to the database.
Assets for the way to calculate goodwill, anything like that. And can you, I don't know if I contact you by email, you can give us access to the database.
Okay, we'll check like if if it's possible. We'll share with you. Yeah.
Okay, are we all good for everyone? Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.